I have spent the past couple of months covering some of the most anticipated and well-loved games in the cozy gaming genre. And so, while I'm deep into my cozy gaming phase, I'd like to share with you some of the ones that I'm personally most looking forward to. From games that are already playable in early access states, a few that are eyeing a release next year, and a couple that we don't really have much info on, but does look unique and interesting regardless. Quick note, I am going with a looser definition of cozy here, not just the regular farm sims or Stardew Valley likes, because I want to be sharing games that I feel provide a different experience from the usual. But let's start with an easy pick, one that a lot of people are really excited about, and that is Witchbrook. Witchbrook is a cozy life sim where you play as a student attending Witchbrook College, a sort of wizarding school similar to something like Hogwarts. In this game, you'll be creating your own witch or wizard character in order to attend this school and master the magical arts, making friends along the way, and even potentially building relationships with the various characters. But the real highlight here is the town itself. The town of Mossport is a living, breathing world, populated by hundreds of NPCs, each with their own schedules, daily routines, businesses, and, from what we can see in the trailer, potential quest lines. And the game really leans into that life sim aspect of it with the amount of things we can do. You aren't locked into just attending classes, brewing potions, or gunning for the top of your wizarding class. If you want to break from school, you can do extracurricular activities like starting a Sunday market business to sell your crafts and make some money. You can design your own cottage in the woods, grow a garden, help the townsfolk with your mystical powers, or just shop around as you can fully customize your character, not just in terms of how they look, but how they dress as well. With the day and night cycle, seasonal events, and the ability to zoom around the city on a vehicle or a witch broom, it honestly feels like a cozy take on a pixel art witch GTA game, like Bully on the PS2 but for witches, which I don't think we've ever seen before. And the best part? You can play this with up to 4 people. Witchbrook was supposed to come out this winter 2025, but it has since been delayed for a 2026 release. However, you can follow their development blog on the Witchbrook website and already wishlist it on Steam. This game is expected to come out for PC, Switch, as well as Xbox. Next up is My Time at Evershine. This is, according to the devs, an open-world simulation RPG where you play as the newly instated governor of a brand new settlement in the fringes of the Free Cities. Set in a wholesome post-apocalyptic world, you'll be heading the development of this fledgling town with a goal of establishing a city-state. But thankfully, you won't be alone, as fellow settlers with unique designs and backstories can be recruited to help you out throughout your journey. With your settlers, you'll be working on gathering materials, setting up infrastructure, building homes, as well as exploring the untamed land surrounding Evershine. There will be town management where you'll decide what types of buildings or machines to build, who will man them, and generally lead your people in the direction you want your new settlement to take. But the real meat of this game lies in the characters that you will be meeting. Again, not only do they have their backstories, but these recruitable characters can be romanced with lots of interactions, and each of them have their own storylines. And that is on top of the overarching main story and deep lore which the My Time series is known for. Other mechanics that were mentioned are combat, being able to invite your recruits to your party to help you with either gathering, building, or hunting. There's a territory claiming mechanic to expand your land, and of course a bunch of different ways to traverse your environment. And lastly, there's 4-player co-op as well, which is pretty insane. Now, this project did start as a Kickstarter game, which I know a lot of people get very wary of, but the great thing is that this is actually the 3rd installment in the My Time series. There's My Time at Portia, My Time at Sandrock, which is well loved in the cozy gaming community, as well as a successful Kickstarter project, and then there's this one. So this is coming from developers who've already proven that not only can they develop great games that can cultivate a devoted following, as seen both in Portia and Sandrock, but they've also shown that they can launch successful games that are crowdfunded without any of the usual issues. As of now, this project has almost $3 million from Kickstarter funding, and it started alpha test back in October. With its beautiful art style, a successful game release history, and the promise of features that will truly make us feel like we're leading the building of a new settlement alongside interesting characters, I felt like My Time at Evershine deserved a spot on this list. This is expected to release in spring 2026, but there's no actual date announced yet, and they still haven't decided on whether they're gonna launch in an early access state, so personally, I'm not sure if we're actually gonna see a full release by then. This is coming out first on PC, then console, as well as Switch at a later date. But before we continue, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, GAMIVO.com. As gamers in today's economy, I know that a lot of us are struggling a little bit with the rising prices of literally everything. But thankfully, for games at least, GAMIVO has us covered. GAMIVO has a giant catalog of discounted games for all the major platforms, and most importantly, for you viewers of the channel, you'll get an exclusive 5% discount code if you take advantage through the link down below. Just click the link in the description or the comment section of this video, pick any game you want, and on the checkout page, make sure to type in code Kaganath to get 5% off of your order. You get cheaper games and you also support the channel. Very cool. In addition, if you want exclusive daily or monthly discounts and VIP access to a 24/7 live chat with their support team, go ahead and sign up for GAMIVO Smart. It comes with everything I mentioned, plus pre-order priority and a free customer protection program. All of that for only about $1 a month. They're also verified in Trustpilot, having amazing reviews so you know that your purchases are protected. So if you want to get your favorite games at discounted prices and support this channel at the same time, head on over there with the link down below and make sure not to miss out on the 5% discount with code Kaganath. Let's get back to the video. Now, let's take a turn to something a little bit more unique compared to your regular cozy game. Nivalis. This is a first-person restaurant manager set in the vibrant, neon-drenched 80s cyberpunk world of Nivalis. But it goes so much more beyond just being a restaurant manager. This game is all about building something for yourself in the gritty, neon-filled city of Nivalis. To start, you'll begin your journey from the bottom of the food chain, running a small food stall or a ramen stand. You'll be decorating your own business, carefully managing it, and trying to make a profit in the hopes of expansion. Now, you can use your initial funds to buy ingredients, but you can also cut costs by growing your own food via greenhouses. There's even fishing in the game where you'll be able to own your own boat, which allows you to venture further into the sea. Eventually, once you start making some money, you'll be able to unlock various new districts in the game, allowing you to own and customize multiple new businesses, from restaurants and bars to entire nightclubs. You can even buy various apartments or houses to truly make this towering city your home. And these, just like the businesses, can be fully customized to your liking. There was even a mention in one of the development blogs about clients asking you to decorate their homes, which I feel just adds to the world, making it feel more alive. And I hope they add more of that for the other features as well. And with all of that comes the story and exploration. A previous game of Ion Lands, the developers, is a game called Cyberpunk, which is set in the same city. It was a delivery service game, but a lot of the reviews rave about the story, the incredible world building, and the engaging quests scattered throughout. And if that's any indication, then we could probably expect the same for their new title. You'll make connections in the city, meet interesting people from all walks of life, and according to their Steam description, maybe even find love. One thing that really caught my eye in this game that I think more restaurant management games should do is having the ability to hire managers. Since you're going to be owning multiple businesses, in addition to exploring the city, after some time, I personally always get that desire to want to automate things so I can do whatever I want. And this game allows that through managers. They'll take care of your business, making sure you're still making money even though you're out and about, of course, as long as you can afford their salaries. Overall, an incredibly unique take on the genre, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Originally set to release this year, it has since been delayed to early to mid-2026. Unfortunately for console players, there's no news yet regarding console releases, as the devs have so far only stated that this game is coming to Steam and Epic Games on PC. Bloody Hell Hotel is, as you might have guessed, a hotel management game where you play as a vampire who's just awakened from a centuries-long sleep, only to find out that their once grand estate has fallen into ruin. It is now your task to make the place presentable and turn it into a prosperous hotel business similar to Hotel Transylvania. This one really caught my eye the first time I saw its announcement trailer because not only is the setup unique, but the animations are gorgeous. There wasn't a lot of news to follow up that trailer, which worried me a bit, but the more I looked into the development blogs, the more excited I became. What started as a simple game where you decorate and manage a hotel while occasionally feeding on your customers has now turned into a game with deep and intertwining systems. Let's start with the hotel itself. You'll be dealing with repairs, designing the rooms, choosing wallpapers and furniture, and overall just making it look good. But once your doors are open, the guests become the highlight of your gameplay. First of all, there are various types of guests. Some are unhygienic, leaving their rooms filthy. Others are snobs who expect exceptional service. But the thing is, you're a vampire. And so you have to make the crucial decision of whether to provide these guests with good service or feed on them to sustain your vampiric powers. You gotta balance it as well. If you drink the blood out of all your guests, you're not gonna make money, nor are you gonna get good reviews that'll bring in more customers. Now, what's fun about this is that you don't simply walk into a guest's room to drink their blood. You have to identify their archetype, observe their behavior, and figure out how to get their blood without them or the other guest noticing that you are in fact a blood-drinking monstrosity. And the way you do this is by utilizing the other systems of the game. For example, perhaps the guests that you have are insomniacs. So they roam the hotel at night, making it harder for you to sneak around and feed on your other customers. So what do? Maybe you put a sedative on their teeth or use your hypnosis powers to put them to sleep. Another example is royalty. Their blood is of the highest quality, granting you many perks, and the blood itself can be sold for a premium price to other vampires. However, if one of these high-profile guests goes missing, you might trigger the ire of vampire hunters. Discover the secrets of your guests, pickpocket their belongings for extra cash, or use their meat to save on kitchen costs. What you do is up to you. But again, aside from the hotel itself, there are plenty of other systems in the game for you to engage in. There's a deep cooking mechanic where you can open up your kitchen to provide room service, or if your reputation is really good, even engage in cooking duels against other hotels. There's animal handling where you can adopt pets and familiars with their own sets of skills that can help you in managing your hotel or procuring blood. You can raise zombie chickens and an undead cow for produce. And there's farming, which allows you to grow your own ingredients while dealing with various seasonal challenges that can affect the growth of your crops. And lastly, there's combat. Below your hotel's lobby lies a procedurally generated dungeon filled with monsters, rare ingredients, and a bunch of resources to upgrade various aspects of your hotel as well as your vampire. What surprised me here is the addition of a class system. And reading through the devlogs, it seems that we'll be able to fully customize our vampires and choose between different classes, all with varying playstyles for handling guests and doing combat. Some examples are the Dark Strider, a rogue type who excels at pickpocketing and stealth to help you at night, or using speed for swift strikes and parries in combat. There's also the Necrocaster, which is all about using powerful magic. However, their unsettling appearance does give you a debuff when it comes to handling guests, as they become naturally more suspicious of your eerie appearance. Certain classes can also utilize blacksmithing, some can control mines, and others are great at being a business tycoon if you want to just focus on making as much profit as possible. Bloody Hell Hotel is targeting a release next year in 2026 and is coming to Steam, Epic Games, and consoles. We're almost done with the list, so I wanted to share some honorable mentions that I'm super excited for, but just didn't have enough time to cover in this particular video. And for the first honorable mention, I have to talk about Traveler's Rest. This is one of the more promising cozy games that is currently in development. You play as an innkeeper, managing your own tavern from rebuilding it, gathering ingredients, cooking, and serving your customers. The goal is to increase your tavern's reputation, making it the best in the land in order to one day become the Tavern Keeper King. But what really drew me into this game is the incredibly addicting gameplay loop. I was originally only planning to put about 20 hours into trying this out, but I ended up putting in 100 more. And that was before they even added the new story content. And the only thing is that the development of Traveler's Rest is on the slower side. And while it's available to play in early access, I would recommend waiting for the full release of this game for the complete experience. That said, aside from running your tavern, there's also animal handling, fishing, farming, there's a huge city to explore, and you can play co-op with up to 4 people. Next is Haunted Chocolatier. This is the next project from Stardew Valley developer Concerned Ape. And I can't make an upcoming cozy games list without mentioning this one. It is essentially Stardew Valley, but instead of running a farm, you're tasked with managing a chocolate factory, and a haunted one at that. Although, Concerned Ape has specifically mentioned that this game leans more towards the fantastical compared to the down-to-earth, living off the land theme of Stardew, and just judging from the announcement trailer, the haunted aspect is a major highlight. In this game, you'll be gathering ingredients, making chocolates, and selling those in your own chocolate shop with the help of your little ghost buddies. There's gonna be adventures to be had, interesting characters to meet, and no set date yet for the release, sadly. So for now, it's gonna stay here at the honorable mention section. But regardless, this is a game that I can't wait to get my hands on. The final game is another early access title, Chef RPG. You might have heard me talk about this before because not only is it one of my most successful reviews, but I've also made, I think, the longest tips and tricks video for it. But regardless of that, the most important thing is that I have enjoyed this so much that I've already put almost 100 hours into it despite its incomplete state. You play as a chef burnt out from life in the big city, and you took on the opportunity to move into the once glorious town of White Ash Harbor in order to revive a restaurant called La Sequoia. Along the way, you'll meet an interesting cast of characters, work on your restaurant, slowly bringing the whole town back to life. And eventually, you'll be able to buy a home, open up more restaurants, build relationships, and carve out a place for yourself in this beautiful seaside town. As for the mechanics themselves, this game has, in my opinion, the most satisfying restaurant management system of all the current cozy games. From foraging and shopping to cooking and serving, the entire loop just blends together perfectly. Not to mention the amount of effort that was put into allowing you to really personalize your restaurant. There's so many decorations, custom menus, as well as upgrades to really make the place your own. But most importantly, my favorite part of Chef RPG is the story. When I first covered this game, it only had up until Act 3, but even then, I was already hooked. I became heavily invested not just in the characters and the story arcs, but even in the revival of the town itself. You can literally see White Ash Harbor come back to life as you bring in more people through your restaurant. You repair buildings, you help people get back on their feet, and you raise the town's reputation by bringing back or adding in new amenities. Now, as for what's coming next for this game, there's a whole new city that they're looking to add, additional homes and restaurants for you to build and decorate, more characters, some of which are able to be romanced, and of course, the complete story. If you want to learn more about this game, I recommend watching my 100% completion review, which is spoiler-free, for a more in-depth overview of what you're really getting in this game. It's fun, gives you a lot of freedom, and really fulfills that fantasy of being a chef and a restaurant owner in a dying town, and you being the reason why it all comes back to life again. If you enjoyed the video, found some games that caught your interest, and would like to support the channel, please feel free to join either the Patreon or the YouTube membership for exclusive content, shoutouts at the end of the video, and early access to the upcoming ones I make. Otherwise, a simple like and subscribe are more than enough to help. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.